Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory, honor, is due to you. How about Shimmy, how was shy about Shimmer Kakwadash? Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful light. Knows in the gospel, bro. I lift up the standard of you. How about Shimmy, how was shy, wherever it may be. There's just a quick spirit through the lesson through the spirit, Salakia. It's kind of when it's prophesying earlier. I was listening to a video by the elder brother out there, Mawatazak, out there in Cali, man, and he played this video. It was very, very, the spirit hit me, and it was going into this new variant on how this new variant is going to justify new lockdowns and mandatory VMAXs, so to speak, because now that's all you've been hearing on the news for the last year and some months. It was about this whole ordeal about the lockdowns, the new strains, this, that. That's all we've been hearing. Every freaking news channel you turn into, that's all you hear. So through the spirit, when I was watching that video, he compacted a lot of clips together, and I was actually waiting for the brother to post a link because I wanted to follow up on it, but it's all good. It was a lot of just different news articles compacted together of commentaries of talking heads, and how Esau likes to propagate and how he likes to cause hysteria out of fear and panic. And they was talking about the new Delta variant. Like, where the hell they get that from? Like, a whole new Delta variant. And they was like, should we be afraid of that? And then Esau like, well, yeah, we should be afraid of the new Delta variant. And they're talking about places in China and over there in India, how it just really just tearing the land up. And places in China, how some places are back on lockdown. So I can safely say, if not in the coming weeks or months, I can definitely say, and through the spirit, that probably by the end of the summer they may impose new lockdowns. See, they have to let this thing allegedly get out of hand so they can be justified on taking away your rights. And I will tell you just like this: when they impose new lockdowns and sanctions, that will be the end of the U.S. economy. That would be the end of all the mom and pop shops. Half the country will be unemployed by that time, because this is set to bring in the demise of the economy so they can bring in what we know as the MOB. It's a perfect devised plan, though it's sloppy as all hell. But it's straightforward, man, because they're talking about Missouri being the new epicenter for this new variant, how this is the hotbed because people aren't maxed up and this and this and that. You see how they're playing off that? You see how they're creating division among the people that don't have it versus the people that do have it. So now, therefore, it's going to be chaos between the two opposing parties. You're going to have people that's into it with people that's un-V for Vendetta and the people that got V for Vendetta. You're going to have, it's going to be some shit, And that's going to cause chaos. But overall, what's so interesting about this whole thing is the fact that they said Missouri is the new hotbed. All right. And they say that this thing is in all 50 states. And when this allegedly spreads, they will impose new lockdowns. All right. And this economy will not survive. You will 9 times out of 10 see the demise of the US dollar, because this new lockdown that's coming, there's not going to, I don't see them coming out of that. I see more draconian, and I could be wrong, but I'm just, through the spirit, I'm just speaking on it, because the spirit came to me earlier and told me just that. So when this shit happens, you can expect to be in a permanent lockdown. You can't expect to come back up, because now they're going to justify new variants and new this and new that. They're going to say, well, this is another one, this is another one. Like, they even insisted on people getting V'd up every 6 months. So this is going to be a thing that they never intended on doing away with. This thing has always been intended to stick around, like we say, the new norm. So I can safely say that once this second shutdown comes, that will completely do away with the middle class. All right, city governments, state governments, county governments, the real estate market, these things, you can pretty much say you can hang it up, because that's going to come with the imposing of the mandatory V for Vendetta. Okay, because they're going to say how bad this variant is. So once that new variant hits and once these new lockdown imposes, that's when they're going to go on a phase 2 with their plan. That's when they're going to make the V mandatory. In order for you to work, go into these superstores, these supermarkets, go to concerts, movie theaters, you're going to be required to get that V. And by that time, the economy is going to be damn near dead, and it would be a perfect time and a smooth transition to bringing about the MOB. It's a smooth transition to the chip, because when the new lockdowns are imposed, these smaller businesses, they will not survive. You've seen what the first lockdown did to the middle class. So just imagine another lockdown with the so-called stronger variant. It's going to cause the economy to pretty much collapse. You know, it's not going to be any really jobs left for real. And then from that point, it's a smooth transition for the chip. Makes perfect sense to me. And Russia has already threatened America, saying that you can't even do nothing with us in another war, so we could just bully you all over the place. You ain't gonna do shit with us. You see what I'm saying? So it makes a lot of sense that they're showing nuclear artillery, and when the economy collapses, the chip could be instituted, followed by World War III, because that's the only how I see them going to war, is when the US dollar collapse. Okay, because they're gonna blame America for the debt and a ripple effect of these different economies around the world. Because once the dollar go, all the other currency goes, because US dollar is the central reserve currency. That's why you have the BRICS nations. This is why you have currency that's dealing with their independent currency, and they're doing away with the dollar. They're dumping a dollar because they know that the dollar crash has pretty much happened already. So, hey, man, I'm just telling you, tribes, man, this is finna get real out here. All right? It's finna get real, and the spirit really hit me today to really say that and to think about that, because I was meditating on that earlier. I said, oh yeah, it's finna get real. Once I watched that video, the spirit already gave me a rundown on how the hell it was gonna go down. Now, like I said, it can happen in different forms of fashion. It can come one after the other, or one before the other, but nonetheless, it will happen. And at the same time, while you have an economic collapse, that brings in famine, pestilence, okay, outages, power outages, you know, because once the power outages happens, then all of a sudden the water goes, because now water meters are hooked up to smart meters now, or they're hooked up to electricity. So, hey, if you ain't got no power, you ain't got no damn water. So what happens then when the blackouts come? Exactly, you know? So all hell was getting ready to break loose. So, hey, you can bet on another lockdown sooner than later, all right? Or some form of fashion of some type of draconian method. You can bet on the forceful implementation of the you-know-what, followed by or before the VMAX, that's going to be mandated. And then also the forceful implementation of the RFID you-know-what. Then, hey, you have an economic collapse, famine, pestilence, all those things kicks in. That's why the scripture said that the judgment is going to be on all sides, man. All sides, because these things are going to happen right after another, and they're all going to be taking place around the same time. So you ain't got no years to wait for a famine to hit, or the famine hit, then the chip come 20 years later. No. This is all going to happen at once, man, because this is the Lord's judgment. So, hey, man, that just the spirit just put it on my spirit to say that. Now, like I said, man, you know, when it comes to prophesied, you know, we're very confident in that. Even if what I say does not happen in a subsequent order, nonetheless, it is going to happen before you get a simple ass nigga on the comment board and say, man, you said it was going to be lockdowns by the end of the summer. Yeah, I did say it's possible. Now, am I 100% sure that that will happen? No, I'm not. But I am 100% sure that the RFID, you know what, will be implemented. And I do know it's going to be chaos and famine and pestilence. And I do know that eventually it's going to be some type of lockdown in some form of fashion, man. I do know that. All right. What order? Hey, it don't matter. But the fact that these things are going to happen, you know. So, hey, if the lockdown don't come by September, then, hey, don't be coming on. Oh, you said it's going to happen. I never said it's going to happen in September. I just said sooner than later. Then I did say the end of the summer. But that's not 100%, you know, guaranteed. That just me speaking through the spirit, because what's likely to happen once you people are done buffooning around. But eventually it's gonna happen. Whether it happens then or later, it's gonna happen. All right, you know, we ain't giving no dates, we ain't giving no years, no nothing, but we do know we're very close. So I say it that way, because you people don't understand what it's like, or you people out there, you don't understand what it is when we say we're in the spirit, and I look like a chariot just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting there in the clouds. All right, so I got a precept here, and I'm going to shut it down. This is the book of Romans 13:11. It says, and that knowing that the time, it is high time to wake up out of sleep. For now our salvation is nearer than what we believe. So, hey, brothers, man. Hey, like the brother said, man, this is the time to be prayed up, you know, really focused, really buckling down in the spirit, man. Repenting daily if you have to. Do whatever you must do in order to get on the chariots. Because I'm going to tell you like this, is going to be a lot of dead people, man. All right, like the scriptures say that the dead should be cast out as dung. So a lot of these people, they're going to just die. Something is going to cause something to happen, and they just going to die, man. Whether it's from a pestilence, famine, you know, being put to death by the troops, dying in the concentration camps, you know, the diseases that they're going to pump, you know, the new bubonic plague, all that stuff. They talking about 30 different plagues that nobody is even talking about. And Lord's will, I get into that sometime tomorrow if the Spirit hit me, man. Lord's will. So it just, you know, it just in the back of my mind now to kind of go into it. But Lord's will. But eventually, you know, these things will come to pass. You know, so hey, you people in America, you have nothing to look forward to but death and destruction, man. All right. And I'm gonna read it again. Revelation 13:11. It says here, and that knowing the time that it is now high time to wake up out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than what we believe. It says the night is far spent, the day is at hand, the day of Yahushua. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. All right. So, hey, man, let's stay focused. Let's be in the Spirit. Let's do the work. And, hey, let's get the hell out of here. Our salvation is here, man. And with that, all praises and glory, honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. With that, shalom and a ball.